D, wait for it, delightful.
I got the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So I'm coming to you today with my top movies, my top 10 movies for 2022. And before I get started, I just want to say a couple things. The first one is that my list may not be, your list, and that's totally fine. I'm not crapping on anybody else's list. These are just movies that I liked this year, and and I have to say I didn't see all the movies that came out this year. So I mean, I still haven't seen Way of Water, Avatar, and everything. And so therefore, if I didn't see them, I don't want to put them on my list because that'd be disingenuous. So I'm pretty sure there are some movies that I didn't see this year that I would probably put on my list of top 10 movies this year, but I just didn't have time to see them, or I couldn't see them because whatever reason. For me personally, movies, I don't get to go to the movies very often because I have 2 kids and a wife, and therefore if it's an adult movie, like you know what I mean. I can't take my children, and I can't be seeing cartoons every time I go to the movies. I got stuff that I want to do too. Sorry about that. Second thing is there the second thing is I want to say before I get started on this list is that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we always get shoved to the back of the line. So please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. All right, now that I got that nonsense out of the way, why don't we get started on my top 10 movies of the year. Now these probably aren't like, big Oscar winners and everything, but yeah, I just, like I said before, like for instance, I wanted to see Tar, but I didn't get a chance to go to the movie theater to see it, I think it's on digital now, but I think I have to rent it, but we'll see. All right. So for my number 10 movie this year is the movie She Said. Now, I understand that this is a lot of controversy over this movie, but I think that this movie handled it very well in terms of the Harvey Weinstein scandal. That man is a monstrous human being, and I think that this movie, I think it did a good job telling the story in a cinematic way, and also just in a very I don't know what the right word is, but a polite way to the victims of Harvey Weinstein. And I think that it also highlighted that Hollywood, not necessarily highlighted, but I think it did indicate that Hollywood knew about it and they just let it go by. And I go, those hypocrites, they want to sit here and they want to tell us normal people how to act and how we should go about our lives. And yet they're just letting some fatso fondle and, do nonsense to himself in front of women. And I just go, yeah. But I do think that this movie was very good, just, in terms of writing and acting. I love that Zoe Kazan, is that how you say her name? And Carey Mulligan did a good job too. But yeah, I really didn't enjoy this movie a lot. And you don't see what's his face, Harvey Weinstein. You only see him from behind, and then he's on the phone at one point in time. Yeah, but I thought it was very good. So that is my number 10. That one's like kind of like Oscar-ish, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, okay, so for my number 9 pick, it is Where the Crawdads Sing. Now, I had read this book before this movie came out, and I enjoyed the book. I thought it was very, very good. And then I saw that the movie was going to come out, and it starred Daisy Edgar Jones. And I love this woman. She's in this movie our show called Normal People, and she did such a good job there, and she's so freaking hot. And she's in this movie Fresh, but I've seen her from that TV show Normal People. I believe it's on Hulu still. But very good, and I really enjoyed this movie also. I thought that she did a fantastic job. It's kind of like a murder mystery kind of thing. I mean, but she gets blamed for a murder, and everybody thinks that she's the murderer because she's a girl that lives, in the marshes and everything, and and she has to go to trial and everything, and she meets a boy and falls in love with him, and then she meets another boy and he takes advantage of her, but whatever. Anyways, but I thought this movie was very good. I enjoyed it immensely, and that is why it is on my top 10 list, and it's my number 9. So for my number 8 and I was surprised that I put this, but I really liked this movie, and that is Smile. This movie was very good. I thought that not only was it a good horror movie and it scared me at some time, that mother monster thing at the end was like, I was freaking out when she like gets all big and she's like coming down the hallway and everything, and then she's behind when she the mother monster is like behind her. Oh, I freaked out. I was like, ooh, and everything. So, and the smiles were so creepy. They're just like, and I'm like, that's so creepy, but I loved it. I loved it. And I thought that it was a weird mixture of talking about mental health issues and like the supernatural curse thing going on. Like at the end, I was all like, because it was like during the whole movie, she was like saying, like, I have something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me. Help me, listen. And she kept saying, you're not listening. She kept saying that to everybody in her life, from her boyfriend to her sister, and nobody was listening to her except for the one dude, the detective guy played by Kyle Gallner, which I really like him a lot. I think that's how you say his name. I like him. He's pretty cool. And Sosie Bacon did a good job. Did you know that's Kevin Bacon and what's his wife's name? That's their daughter. I was like, shut up. I didn't know that. She's 1 degree from Kevin Bacon. Anyways, so I thought that it was a good mixture because it was talking about like mental health issues in terms of her telling everybody, you're not listening to me, something's wrong. And everybody's like, you know, and they could only deal with it up to a certain point. And once they'd reached their threshold, they cut her out of their lives. And I'm all like, that's such an interesting commentary on mental health issues. And then at the end, it was she you know, she offed herself, and she, you know, I was all like, is that because it was a curse? But I was like, was it? And at the same time, I'm just like, what is that saying like about mental health issues? I don't know. It kind of sent me the wrong message, but the movie was very good. I hope they do not do a sequel. Hollywood and America has a habit of doing that, and I really wish they wouldn't. But yeah, I did like this movie. All right. So coming up at number 7 is Bullet Train. Now, this movie, in terms of story, is very bland. But I like all the action sequences. I like the fighting. I like that it's on a train. I like the different like assassin-y people. It was just really fun, and I liked it. Like, there's no other reason for it. You know, like I said, the story is not exactly what you'd call top notch, but I just enjoyed this movie. When I sat down and watched it, I was like, yeah, it was a good time. I had a good time. All right, so moving on to my number 6 is Violent Night. I was like, this movie. Now, I have to admit, I don't like my Santa Clauses like all like murdery and everything, but I did like that one with oh, what's his name? Mel Gibson. I like that. That came out in 2019, 2020. I can't remember, but it came out, and I liked that one a lot. And I thought I wouldn't like this one, but I really love David Harbour. And I like John Leguizamo, but although he seemed, you know, not that great in this movie, but whatever, it's fine. But I really like this movie. I liked that it was like fun and all murdery and everything, and it was Santa, and he still had the like magic-iness about him, you know, with the deer, and like he was like, you know, apparating in and out of houses and stuff. It was a good time. I had a good time. I really liked it. I was surprised that Beverly D'Angelo was in this from all those National Lampoon's movies, you know, but and she looks very different. Like, I was like, oh honey, you had some work done, I can tell. But I really like this a lot. I thought it was super fun, and yeah. Okay, moving on to my number 5, and it's another horror movie, is The Black Phone. I loved this movie, and I got scared at some point in time. I think one of the ghost boys that showed up when he turned around, and I think it was the one that was like floating or whatever. I'm trying to remember. But it scared me. There was times in this that really scared me. I was like, oh man, this is like creeping me out. But you guys, I love Ethan Hawke. That man is such a good actor. He's fantastic. I will watch anything he is in. He's so good, and he's such a good bad guy. And that mask, I'm not a huge mask person. Mask creeped me out hardcore, but I really did like this movie a lot. And I thought that it was a good horror movie. And it wasn't scary in terms of like overall, but there were some jump scares when they turned around and stuff. But I like how the ghosts were like for instance, when he unlocked the door and the little kid was gonna try to escape. What was his name? Tommy. He was gonna try to escape, but then the ghost was all like, don't do it. He's waiting at the top of the stairs so he can punish you. And I was like, oh, that's so good. And the whole time I'm wondering, like, is there a supernatural element to it? Are these ghosts real, or is it all in his head? But then his sister had that whole vision quest thingy. So maybe it was. All right. Coming in at number 4 is Super Pets. Now, I want to be honest about this movie. This movie was totally a kid's movie. I did a review for it. You can guys check it out in the iCard section, but I really liked this movie a lot. I thought it was just genuinely nice and wholesome. I mean, there was a little stuff that I was just like, I don't know, like the turtle kept swearing and they did bleep it out, but my son kept pointing it out to me. And I was like, she did say a naughty word. But I loved Lulu. I loved her as a villain. I loved Lex Luthor. I loved the Super Pets overall. I mean, the pig was kind of like body positivity kind of thing, which I'm like, oh, get out of here with that nonsense. But at the same time, I loved it. I love the animation. I mean, not all the jokes hit, like the Aquaman with the fish food thing, but I still liked it. I liked it. And I thought it was a good movie. So, but I can understand why people wouldn't like it, because it was very kid centric, but at the same time, I'm totally okay with that. As a dad, I'm totally okay with that. All right, now we're down to the top 3. So coming in at number 3 is Black Adam. Now, I want to just say right now, I know that this movie was not, in terms of story, wasn't the best, but I still really enjoyed it. I loved the action sequences. I loved, I really liked seeing Black Adam versus the Justice Society of America. The Sabak thing was thrown in there so they could all come together and everything. But I liked it. I can't help what I like. Okay. So, but I really liked it a lot. I also did a review about that. You can check that on the iCard section. But I just really liked it a lot. It was so good. All right, coming in at number 2 is Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. I know that J.K. Rowling may be controversial for some of you, but not for me. And I know that these movies aren't the best compared to the Harry Potter movies. And that last one, The Crimes of Grindelwald, I did not think was good, except for the first 5 minutes. That's the best action sequences in all of the Wizarding World movies that I think it's the best one. But I did like this movie. I thought it was a step up from the last one, and it's my favorite one of the series. I thought it was very good. I liked seeing the whole election thing. I know it was a commentary on, messing with elections, but I still liked it. And even though I do think it was a bad choice for them to replace Mads Mikkelsen, or to replace Johnny Depp with Mads Mikkelsen, I did enjoy Mads Mikkelsen's performance. I think that he's a good actor. And again, I have nothing against him. I just would have preferred Johnny Depp personally. I also thought that the action sequences were heightened, and I think that's because J.K. Rowling let another writer come in, Steve Kloves, which I think was a good choice. I know that they say this series is done, but I really hope that they finish it off with the last 2 movies, because I want to visit this world again, and I really enjoy seeing these movies and seeing this world, and I really hope that they don't give up on it. I think that if they just keep letting I think they should just let J.K. Rowling write the outline, and then let Steve Kloves come in and write the story, because I feel like he knows how to write a script. And I think that J.K. Rowling, I think she knows how to write novels. And that's what these movies are. It's a lot of talky, and we want actiony. Okay. But I loved this movie. I thought it was great. I thought it was a step in the right direction for the Fantastic Beasts franchise, but I'm pretty sure we're not going to get another one, which is a bummer. All right, you guys, coming in at number 1 is Top Gun Maverick. Oh my gosh, I loved this movie. It was so good. It just was super fun, and it was really good. I love this movie. I know some people want to be like it's pro-war, but I would disagree with that wholeheartedly. I think it's more pro-military, which I'm pro-military. I'm totally fine with that. And I just loved it. I loved it. It was great. I love that Tom Cruise thanked the fans. He didn't blame them for everything. I loved, the message behind it. I love that they had Val Kilmer in there, even if it was for a cameo. Them not hiring what's-her-face from the first one. I mean, I think that was a misstep, but at the same time, I don't care. It was still a good movie. It was so good. I saw it twice. And it was really good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it immensely. And that is why it's my number 1 movie of 2022. All right, you guys, that is my list of movies for 2022. Tell me, what did you guys think about these movies? What is your top 10 top 10 list for 2022? Did you, are any of my movies that were on this list, are any of them on your list? What was your favorite movie of 2022? I'm going to do a worst movies of 2022 video later, but tell me what you guys think. Leave your list and all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it, and I will see you guys on my next video. You guys have a good day. Bye.